Hi everyone, this is Kelsey from the Marks Group. Today we are going over some CRM tips and tricks. If you are joining us, you're probably familiar with our blog. So if you ever want to get the step-by-step directions or more information on what we talk about in these Google Hangouts, you can always go to our blog and read the articles. So the first thing that we're going to discuss is the activity feeds. So if you've worked in Dynamics CRM, then you're familiar with the activities, and activities could be anything from a phone call to an email or just basic user activities. So every time an opportunity is closed or won, that would generate an activity. Every time a lead is generated, that would also generate an activity that you would see in this in the views. Let's go see all activities. So for this person, we have 3 activities and they're 2 appointments and 1 phone call. Let's go to another activities view and see if we can find other things going on. All right. The things that I'm thinking of specifically are anytime an email is generated or an opportunity is won. Those are the kinds of activities that might become annoying after a while. And so that's what I'm thinking that we could get rid of. Let's go to an opportunity. Yep, here we go. So this opportunity is open. And if you see on here, within this opportunities activities, you see there's a quote closed, another quote closed. Maybe those are the types of things that we don't necessarily need to see and that can clutter up the activity feed. So if you go into the settings area and then go onto activity feed rules, you can look at all of the different rules that apply to each entity. So let's go look at opportunity. Or no, we were looking at quotes, right? Where was that? PQ. Activity rules. Okay, so here, anytime an opportunity is created for an account, it shows up in that activity feed. Let's also go to this one. So what I'm thinking of, especially in like leads, if you don't want to see every time a lead is created, you can get rid of that. Or anytime a lead is qualified here, you could get rid of that. And you basically just go into it and deactivate it through this. You probably don't want to delete it. I would just deactivate it. All right. So that's one thing I wanted to review. The next item is attachment file size. Depending on what you're doing in CRM, you may have run into this issue where attachments have a certain file size limit. And when I say attachments, I mean in the notes area. So anything that's attached here would have a file size limit. And you can update or change that under the settings system settings in the administration area. I gotta remember where it is. I think it's under email. Yes. It's on the email tab, but it's not necessarily related to emails. It also applies to that notes attachment. So here, it's about 5 megabytes by default, but you can increase or decrease it if you'd like. The one thing to keep in mind is that that attachment will contribute to your overall storage limit. So you'll see I'm about to check that here. So resources in use. This is how much storage we have available. Okay. All right, and the last thing that I wanted to talk about were the full name settings. So back at administration, by default, the full name is set to use the first name and last name. Let me go to my record. So let's see, we'll edit the form and put a middle name on there so you can see how it works. Right now, I'm just quickly modifying the form so that I can show you the middle name field. I'm going to refresh, see if it's on there. Okay, so you can see that I do have a middle initial in that field, but since the full name field is only consisting of the first and last name, you don't see my middle initial in that field. So what I'm going to do is change the full name field to include your middle name. You can do that under the administration area in settings and then go to system settings. And it's on this first tab under general. You can see set the full name format. First name, last name. I'm going to change it to first name, middle name, last name. And you'll see that it comes up with this warning to tell you that it's not going to apply to previous entries. It's only going to apply going forward. So I'll show you how that makes a difference in a second. So hit OK, hit OK again, and then we'll go back to my record and see what it looks like now. Okay. All right, so now I changed it. I was going to say now you can see that originally my name was just Kelsey Peterson. And when I clicked on this, you could see the middle initial there, but it wasn't showing up here. So if I change it there, now it updates. And if I add it here again, it will update. Let's go to another record and see. Maybe I can show you. We'll go to Jack Canfield and see. We're going to have to go back to our settings just to show you this one more time. Actually, let's keep it this way and we'll go back to my name. We'll put my middle initial back in. And then I can show you. So right now it has the middle initial. We'll go back to our system settings. Save, please. Save. Okay, looks like there's two Kelseys. It does not like that. Ah. Settings, administration, system settings. Here we go. First name, last name. Yes, I want to make the change. Hit OK. And now let's go to Kelsey again. Okay, so now you see, even though I just changed the settings to be first name and last name, since this was an existing entry, the full name was not updated. So it still includes my middle name. I would have to manually go in and change the something in there to get it to update. So if I changed, I mean, all I had to do was really click in there and it updated. And then I could get rid of this as well. And now we're back to normal. And again, we have duplicate detection on, so yes, I want to save it. Okay. And that's the end of it, all right? So it's helpful to keep in mind when you have someone who has a lot of contacts and they might be importing them from Exchange, and therefore they have, you know, middle names and suffixes, prefixes, because sometimes that middle name field can be beneficial in that situation, you know, distinguishing between two different, you know, John Smiths, or just figuring out if it's the right person that you want in general. All right, so that is that. And that's all we have to talk about today. So thanks for joining our little hangout, and I will see you next time. Thanks.